Hey vinyl community, hey new wavers, Shad with Vinyl New Wave here. Welcome to the video. You might notice today my video looks a little better. Hopefully you do. I got a new phone and the camera seems to record things a little bit better. Don't get all of that weird refocusing stuff like I used to. So hopefully these videos look a little better, maybe even sound a little better. Today's video, talking about record store day. This year was a little bit different. We had a delay because of the pandemic, initially till June, and then got delayed till August, September, and November. They split it up into 3 days. And I gotta be honest, guys, I actually really liked the splitting it up for a couple reasons. But the main one being just it was easier on the pocketbook. With the amount of releases that they're releasing these days, a lot of times, if I had purchased all of these within one shot, that would have been several $100s, and whew, that's tough. That's tough to come across. So I'm glad that that they're splitting it up, that they split it up. I hope that going forward they look at that and split it up a little bit more into maybe 4 times a year, like once every quarter, instead of 3 times a year. I think twice a year. I think splitting it up to once a quarter would be a great way to do that and thin out the releases a little bit more. That's my preference. I liked the way that it was done. The way things have been going lately, over the last few years, the list just gets kind of unruly and big, and it's hard to find everything that you want, and hard to perhaps even afford everything you want. So I'm a big fan of spreading it out. So I'm going to show you the things that I got over all 3 of the drops. I had kind of been waiting until all 3 drops happened to do a video. So we will start off with the August drop, which was the first drop. And there were a few items on my list that I wanted, but the primary one that I wanted was the Tones on Tail Pop album. I've gotten to where I kind of where I prioritize. I look at the list and I find the titles that interest me, and then start looking at, okay, well, this one they're only making 1,000 of. This one they're making 17,000 of, which was the case on this one. This one they only made 1,000 of. And so I really want this album. To get this album even used is like ridiculously expensive. And so this was top of my list. So I got up that morning. I didn't get up. My local store, one of my stores opens at 6 a.m. every time. One opens at 10 and one opens at noon. And I got up and went up to... I didn't get over at 6 a.m. I went up to that shop at like 7, and he still had this. So I was happy. I picked it up. And that was the only one that I bought that day. Really good pressing, really great album. I love Tones on Tail. Saw them as Pop Tone when they came on tour a few years ago, and really, really great album by them. Later that day, the other one that I really kind of wanted was this Changes Now Bowie by David Bowie. He was actually sold out of it. Otherwise, I probably would have grabbed it too. But they had it in stock up at a record store an hour north of me. My daughter lives up there, so I texted her and asked her to run up and grab it for me. And So she ran over there and picked it up for me that afternoon. And while she was there, she asked if there was anything else I was interested in. And I said, yes, I would like the Roxy music. So she also grabbed me the Roxy music. This album is amazing. It sounds amazing. I'm glad that I got it. And this one is awesome as well. The Steven Wilson mix is really great. There were a few other 12-inch singles that came out on that first drop that I was interested in, but nowhere here locally had them, except for this one. And I specifically chose not to buy this one on that day. I actually picked this up on the second drop because I knew they were making like 17,000 of them. I knew there would be plenty around to get. So I waited until the second drop day to pick this one up, the U2 11 O'Clock TikTok, which is a great song by U2, not really found anywhere else. And then two other 12 inches from that first drop that I wanted. Nowhere I went had them on that first day. And so Bull Moose out in Maine had them online a few weeks after the fact, and so I ordered them. First one is Sounds Like a Melody from Alphaville. This is a new remix by Blank & Jones. If you guys are into the 80s stuff, there's these two producers in Germany, Blank & Jones are their names. They remix and remaster a lot of these old 80s stuff. They've got a series called So 80s. They're all on CD, but they're amazing. They do some really amazing stuff. This is their remix of Sounds Like a Melody by Alphaville. Really great single on a nice yellow vinyl. And then finally, from that first drop, Ultravox's Sleepwalk. This one is on clear vinyl, also a Steven Wilson mix, and really sounds amazing. Really, really great 12-inch there. Next up was the September drop. This was the smaller drop. There weren't as many records in that drop, and there weren't as many that really interested me a ton. But there were a few that I was really interested in. First off was this Mike Watt and the Second Men In Quintessence. This is another part of the Squeeze Swindles series, which are covers of Squeeze tunes by other artists. This is the fifth one. I have all five of them. Other artists that have done these are Elvis Costello, Erykah Badu, Difford Tilbrook from Squeeze actually did one. I can't remember who the other one was off the top of my head, but these have all been really great little 7 inches to pick up, and so I try and pick these up just to keep all the series going on those. And then I had there were two records from Two Tone Records. The Dance Craze 40th anniversary edition of the this is a soundtrack from a movie called Dance Craze that has all kinds of great ska music from the Specials, Madness, The Selector, The Beat. Just a lot of really good ska music on that one. And apparently there was a mix-up at the distributor that one of my stores went through, and they had both of these two-tone records. They had them mixed up with had the same SKU on them or something, and so half stores got all of this one, and the other half of the stores that use that distributor got the other one. So I picked that one up at the first store I went to, and then I went up to the second store, and they actually happened to have this one too. So I was happy. I got both of them. This is This Are Two Tone, which is another compilation from Two Tone Records that has that same group of ska bands, The Special, AKA, Madness, The Selector, The Beat. So, I mean, this has got all the great tunes by like Ghost Town by The Specials and Tears of a Clown by The Beat, Madness by The Madness, Ranking Full Stop by, just amazing ska albums. So I was really happy to get those two. Then came the third record store day drop, which happened this past Saturday. Excuse me, I wasn't super thrilled with anything that was coming out on that, but there was three that I was interested in, and so I got up Saturday morning and went down to one of the record stores and waited outside in the cold. It was really cold Saturday morning. But I did get the Specials Dub Mixes exclusive 10-inch from Two Tone Records, which is just some dub mixes of some special songs, which is pretty good. I got the Modern English I Melt With You 12-inch single. I probably could have passed on this one. I already have two different 12-inch singles of I Melt With You, and the two versions of I Melt With You are the same as the other 12-inch singles I have. And then they had a couple of other songs from their newer album on here as B-sides as well. And they're okay. They're not great. I don't know, but it wasn't that expensive. I think it was only 15 or 16 bucks. So not too bad at that. And then finally, the last one that I really wanted to pick up was this. This is the reissue of The Church in their gold album, Gold Afternoon Fix. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in this one. It was pricey. It was like 32 bucks. It's supposed to be gold vinyl, but I don't know if you can see this, but that's more orange to me. And kind of the comments and some of the like Facebook groups and stuff are the same, that it's just orange. It came in just a regular paper sleeve. There's no gatefold. There's no inner sleeve or anything like that. I mean, it just seems like it just was overpriced for what it was. It sounds good. The sound on it is pretty good, but yeah, it was a little disappointing. Coming up for the fourth month in a row, next month on Black Friday is the regular record store day Black Friday. The list has been released. It's been out for a few weeks now. Gotta say, I'm just not too thrilled with much of anything. There's a reissue of U2's Boy, which I'm pretty sure I already have a copy of Boy, so I don't know if I'm really that interested in that. There's not much else. The one that I think I will go get, try to get, is Fountains of Wayne. Their album that has Stacy's mom on it is being released on vinyl for the first time, and I'm pretty excited about that one. So I will probably make a trek on Black Friday to go get that album, and depending on funds, I might get the U2 one, but I don't know. We'll see. Record store day is it's cool, but it's losing its luster a bit for me. There's just, it seems to be a little bit more live stuff, and I don't like a ton of live records. I'm not necessarily as interested in picking up a record of a live show. The only live show records that I usually pick up are like from tours that I've been to. And that's more just because of it's a living in the moment kind of a thing, you know, reliving a memory. There's a few other albums that but I'm just not a big fan of live stuff. And that just seems to be like a big chunk of the Record Store Day stuff is live recordings. And that just, the stuff like the church, this is the kind of stuff that I really like for Record Store Day, although I wish this was better done. The two-tone stuff, those were good releases. I don't know. It's lost its luster, and it's become a little bit more. It's especially the April one is too big. There's just so much that gets released. I mean, they split it into 3 days, and there was still just tons and tons of records. So I would be a fan of them splitting up, making it more of a quarterly thing, 4 times a year. Do the November, do one in end of March or beginning of April like they do. And then, one in the summer and one in the fall, and then the Black Friday. I would prefer it to be like that, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you think of Record Store Day? Should it be split up? Should we still keep it to just twice a year and have it be huge, or what? What do you think? Let me know. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, until next time, you spin me around like a record, baby.